There's a story about two men who sat down to talk and didn't stand up for 40 days. No food, no sleep. Just the conversation itself, holding them in place like gravity had reversed. I used to hear that and think it was metaphor, a poet's way of saying something important happened here. But then one night I found the book, and a single line on a single page opened something in my chest I didn't know was closed. He had spent his whole life collecting answers, shelves of them, volumes. Every question anyone ever asked, he had something ready, something precise, something true. And people nodded. They trusted what he gave them. He was the one who knew. And then a stranger walked into the room. He didn't ask what the scholar knew. He asked what he had experienced. And for the first time in his life, his mouth opened, and nothing came. The stranger said one thing. The scholar wouldn't remember the words, just the feeling, the sensation of a wall inside him he hadn't known was there, suddenly becoming visible. And the stranger saw it too. He didn't explain it. He didn't name it. He just kept looking, like he was waiting for something the scholar hadn't found yet. And then he asked another question, and another. Not harder questions, deeper ones. The kind that don't have answers at the top. The kind where you have to go down into yourself and feel for the bottom. And every answer the scholar tried to give, every careful, practiced thing dissolved before it reached the stranger. Not because it was wrong, because it had never been his. He had memorized the language of depth without ever going there. He had read about the water for years, and he had never, not once, gotten wet. The stranger stopped asking questions. That was worse, because when the questions stopped, there was nothing between the scholar and the thing the stranger had been pointing at all along. Silence. Not the silence of someone thinking about what to say next. The silence of someone who has already arrived and is waiting for you to notice where you're standing. The scholar looked at his hands, the hands that had turned 10,000 pages, the hands that had written answers other people hung on their walls. And he felt, specifically, physically, the weight of knowing everything about something he had never let inside. He wanted to explain. He wanted to say, no, I earned this. The years, the sleepless nights, the certainty he had worn like armor. But the words tasted different now, like something he'd been reciting so long he'd stopped checking whether he still meant it. Every book he had read was a door he had studied from the outside. The grain of the wood, the type of handle, the history of who had walked through it before him. And not once had he turned it. The room was quiet. The stranger didn't rescue him. He just sat there, breathing, present. Like patience was the only real language, and he had been speaking it all along. And then the scholar stopped trying to answer, not because he gave up, because something behind his mind let go. And in the space it left, the one he'd been filling with books and certainty and reputation, something else was already there. It had always been there. The stranger smiled, not because the scholar said something right, because he had finally said nothing at all. And for the first time, the conversation wasn't about what either of them knew. It was about what was in the room between them, something neither had built, something older than both their names. Years later, they would call the scholar Rumi, but in that room, he had no title. Just a man who had finally run out of answers. The book is closed now. The room is the same room, but the silence in it is different. Not empty, full. You've had this. Maybe not 40 days, maybe 5 minutes. Maybe one sentence from someone who wasn't trying to fix you, just willing to sit in the real thing with you. That's the conversation. The one that starts when you run out of ways to hide.
This is just the beginning of understanding yourself. Subscribe to continue the journey within. Thanks for being here and see you in the next video.